Birds have been really active here this morning with this rain. It's the 15th of October 2006, and the lady cardinal, lots of them on the ground. There's doves. There's a dove feeding on the ground. Two doves flew off the ground, for sure. Perfect light rain. Beautiful out here, so green. 15th of October. stuff breaking out there. Who have we got here? Really don't like seeing brown bear out there, but Lauren's been actually coming in and cleaning the honeysuckle off these plants just outside the fence, and many of those of course are China honeysuckle. They're not native, so they're threatened by the slash and burn method. Could happen to them. Somebody takes a notion out here, so we're trying to get rid of the Japanese honeysuckle. She's done a good job of that inside this area, all along near the fence. That left the China honeysuckle. It'd be great to have some native understory vegetation that would replace the Chinese honeysuckle, but that's a tall order because this China honeysuckle is so effective for bird food, nesting, and roosting, and it's hard to replace. We dread the time when this semi-hollow habitat tree, hackberry tree, split double tree, through which our old fence line runs. The old, see down there the barbed wire fence actually splits the tree. It's not a good thing, but we don't want to take it down because it represents a very old historic part of this. Look at the vines on the tree. It's magnificent. Big hole there. So we know there's a lot of hollow in both these trunks, and various creatures use it, as well as the berries of the fruit of the hackberry. China honeysuckle is incredibly important at the moment all over this part of Fayetteville, especially along the creeks. And restoration work, going back to native, means wiping out a lot of this in places. We certainly are not, get rid of it in our yard, and because the birds love it and depend on it. There's a view north of our yard. Habitat tree, which is on the corner of World Peace Wetland Prairie. Sorry, the dying tree. It was not the habitat tree we just looked at. This is a different tree. Hard to tell from here. Is that a dove sitting high up there? Or what? Good shopping spot for hawks, of course. And you can see all the way to 6th Street if you are interested in such things, to the railroad underpass. Tops of our cane. Two birds came from different directions, met there, and then split apart again. Maybe they just talked about what they were finding good to eat on this wet day. It's something like 1 p.m. or after now on the 15th of October, and you can see the rain. It's been very gentle all morning, but it's creating muddy water in the street because of all the dust that's come off all these construction areas. And unfortunately there'll be muddy runoff through our yard coming off of the Aspen Ridge development up here along the silt fence, where the machinery's broken it down and so forth. Well, we've got a lot of grass growing in these hay bales, and there's not really a flow out of here yet, but if the predicted rain tonight and tomorrow continues as predicted, then we'll see this hole fill up out here, and the water will be pouring into the storm drain here and coming through and going this way and underground to that storm drain opening, and then the next one, and then flowing full power mud into the town branch of the West Fork of the White River at that bridge down there. Of course, there's all that torn up ground and gravel around it. If it should rain 3 inches as predicted in 2 days, it could lead to some flooding problems and a lot of erosion down there. That squirrel's getting back in Hoodenpile's yard. See, there's another one over in that part of Hoodenpile's yard. Now, the new thing we've got in the last few days is that they've put the mat down of the you see sort of green along the railroad embankment, and that would be the green lets you know that that's been seeded, and it's a vegetation of some kind is going to grow out there. I'm sure it's grass, and I hope it serves its purpose. It's selected not because it's natural or native, but because it'll possibly reduce erosion, which has been going on for many months along that railroad. They haven't done that up here on this pile of dirt, which I think part of it is still a big temporary pile up there. They worked there yesterday with the big machines, and we don't know what they were doing. Anyway, if this rain does what's expected sometime during the night or tomorrow, it could be a flow over the creek bridge from left to right, and north to south, and it would, of course, erode a lot of that strangely spread gravel in the Smith's yard. Erode it right away. Yeah. But anyway, this is a terrible mess here, and the erosion continues. The embankment caves off. Tree roots are cut, and old pipes are exposed, and the gas pipe's exposed, and it's just generally a incredible mess. Stuff they dug up and piled here. A mix of good soil to people interested in flowers and trees and vegetation and wildlife food and so forth. It doesn't have a lot of stone in it, but this has got a mix. So in there with some good organic soil. You've got inorganic soil, chunks of rock and various kinds, and red mud and so forth. Quite sure how to reconstitute our rock work here. They crushed a bunch of plants with their machine pushing the rocks up there, and it's a extremely unpleasant way to treat the peace garden there. But you hear the happy birds. They're enjoying this rain. Robins on the ground. Haven't seen many robins this year. This is the best day so far. There's quite a few around here. Chased them off when I opened this door to come out, but maybe more of them are going to drift in. They're not afraid of me from over there behind these damn brush. There's one there. And then you'll see the limbs shake back there at the back. I could afford to keep this thing on all the time either. Even the robins go to that hackberry tree. They usually prefer what they find on the ground, but they sure like those hackberries. They're sharp. And they're as many ripe as there are right now. Yeah. I can't get them all. Those bushes back there shaking are the poke salad. Labs are really making the birds fly. Labs have to have their time in the yard. Robin really likes the water. The wetland's wet. The birds love it. It's better than a bird bath in the front yard. This water never stands very long here, so unless we get a lot more rain, it won't have this for long. Might rain again later in the week. Let's see. But it's a wonderful day on October 17th, 2006. On World Peace Wetland Prairie. This is the area that had the burn, and we're hoping it'll come back really beautiful. Sparrow's been playing in the water, and now he's sitting up in the honeysuckle there, drying off, licking. Licking himself. World Peace Wetland Prairie, October 17, 2006. The button bush, I've cleared a little more of the honeysuckle off. You can see I haven't gotten it all, and it'll be back. But for the moment, there are quite a few limbs free. You can get an idea of what it looks like. Oak leaves turning red behind us there. It's kind of nice. And to our right, we're at the near the southwest corner of World Peace Wetland Prairie. To our right's the big mounded area that just scared the squirrels off, or they got quiet. They were really talking in there when I got here a while ago. Some interesting things there. Nice private place for a bird watcher, because the birds have privacy there, and that's the important part of this. Another button willow patch marked with a red tie, orange tie. And then the next one, see the orange tie right over there. So these are all within about 50 feet. Not even that much between these. So we're hoping to find a lot more. If we clear the vines off these this winter, not just these, but others that may be the same type of stand, buttonwillow, then others will prosper as these have, despite the honeysuckle.
Documentary film, The Aubrey Lady, Arkansas's first newspaper. I'm Joseph Anderson, its executive producer. Many of us here tonight had a personal connection with the Arkansas Gazette. We loved it, or we hated it, but we all allowed that it was a first-rate newspaper. A number of people contributed to the movie you're about to see. Those who appear on the screen, and those that you hear, some from the past, and the many people who worked off camera and off mic to make this movie possible. Yet the film is above all the personal vision of its director, Kevin Clark. Kevin is a talented and scrupulously honest documentary filmmaker. It is a vision realized through the collaboration with Donna Lankin-Stevens, a skilled, and if I may say so, a relentless newspaper reporter. Both have worked tirelessly over the past year to bring you this fascinating, true story of the Arkansas Gazette. Their efforts have been supported by grants from the Arkansas Humanities Council and the Department of Arkansas Heritage, the Fred Darrow Foundation, the Winthrop Rockefeller Foundation, and the UCA Foundation. All of us who worked on the film hope you find it worthy of such trust. After the screening, please feel free to give us your reactions to the film. Now may I present the Dean of the College of Fine Arts and Communication of the University of Central Arkansas, Robert Potter.
Thank you. On behalf of the University of Central Arkansas and our president, Lou Hardin, I want to welcome you to this very special event. It's not very often that a university is able to present a premiere film. That's exactly what we're doing tonight. So we're very fortunate to have all the wonderful people that put their time, their effort, their talent into this production tonight. And I certainly want to thank all of them, as Dr. Anderson has already, and certainly want to thank all the granting agencies that have assisted us with this project. One of the wonderful things about being a dean of a College of Fine Arts and Communication is that every day I have the opportunity to work with many, many talented faculty, staff, and students. And often what happens out of that dedication, that talent, is a wonderful production, such as you're going to see tonight. And I had the opportunity to see the film in a preview a few days ago, and I know you're in for a wonderful treat. I want to, again, thank Donna Stevens and Kevin Clark. They're in the back there. If you could join me in thanking them right now, please. Again, thank you for coming, and let the film begin.
Just like a, it just pours out like a cow.
I don't know.
Pours out like a cow. That's
a
planted.
Is it river oaks or?
I'm not sure what it's from. I'll have to learn, but the honeysuckle's about to climb it.
Well,
if it stays warm enough for it to really grow, it'll be over it shortly. Yeah, you got to dig the roots out. I mean, just burning it off doesn't kill the roots. Now they've got that brush from previous work days spread all over. If they come and burn those more than a tiny one, where is the tiny one exactly? These make a pretty big flame thing. what value that will have
Oh, here, oh, yeah.
is totally unpredicted. Pardon? So, but this cannot be burned under this tree. That's this is the habitat tree. It's on the corner of our property, and it should have nothing happening under it. No fire, for sure. And it's extraordinarily important to all birds in this area. It's the biggest hackberry in the area, and you can see the proliferation of food, wonderful leaves that our rabbits love to eat when they're on the ground, and the wonderful berries. Now, this is pulled over here without reference to what it will damage. That's the area you work the other. Look, what's the tiny bird? Oh, he flew. Your area's nicely cleaned underneath that you worked on last weekend, so many hours. And all along here, and then down here. That's part of Lawrence from last weekend.
Yeah.
Is it a thick stem? It was mowed over.
I think so.
Yeah. But it's a beautiful sumac. My gosh, it's wonderful. Or the leaf color's coming on. The colors. Those over there. Sorry. What kind of woodpecker? Yeah, I don't know what kind it is, but they're pretty impressive when they show up.
left you because for 2 days I've been calling and nobody's there. So
We've had 2 field days the past 2 days. We went out to Madison County, then yesterday we went down to the War Eagle.
So when would be a good time?
Look, it looks good, really. I've never floated the War Eagle. Did you float it? We floated it. We went from, let's see, like, just right off of 412, like,
Son, look straight up. That tree belongs to me. I'm serious. That tree is on my property. Now, how, after I've talked about it, how did they come over this close? Oh, Lord. Oh. I see you. You realize this is right under the habitat tree. This is the most precious thing on this property as far as habitat and food. And
but it's not burning.
no, it's not burning, but it is at risk. The risk, Jennifer, is I know it's pretty damp still. I mean, it's just, you know. Did you notify any other neighbors before you started?
Well, I've been having a permit almost every day this week.
I'm not asking about the permit. I said, did you warn people what the smoke would be about?
Well, we did on Wednesday, and then we did
Oh, did you?
Wednesday. So we've been telling them that we were
Oh.
concerned as soon as we were able.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Because I wasn't expecting it this morning.
Well, I talked to Warren about it last night.
Well, that's based on my knowing that by her staying awake to tell me till 1 or 2 in the morning when I get home from work. It's just hard to believe. I mean, you see that tree is on our corner.
Don't worry about it. It's going to be just fine.
Well, but if there's a minute risk of anything occurring that should not be hurt by this, then why do it? Because I've read 100 different websites on those subjects. I mean, for the last several years. You know, when I first met you, we'd already been talking about restoration methods and looking up things and talking to people. And I know what the value can be, but we're in the middle of a city, and this is the last piece of significant habitat. All this over here, that top of that mountain right over there, they've taken everything out of there in the last year. Getting ready to do it, all that over there. And this is the escape.
Precautions to make sure this tree is okay.
This is.
Calm down, okay?
Well,
just relax.
It's not by your house. You know, I mean,
I just told you we're taking precautions to make sure this is okay.
Okay, that part I hope is true, but if it should break out loose on a slightly drier day, then you couldn't get anybody here fast enough to help with to put it out. But you know, we had our wildfire here. Some kids came and set a little shed in those bushes, you know, little house of fire a year or so ago, and I was in there by the rabbits are right in there. You ever look right in there? You ever been right in there? Okay, the rabbits are right there. They're 40-something feet maybe from where you're standing. No, they can't be there. 10 feet from the tree, and 25 feet from where we're standing. The wild turkeys right over there in that old hen house. But these kids came in there and set that little old ancient shed on fire. And the wind was blowing out of the south and right at us. And fire department got here in about 5 minutes and put it out. But I was back there by the bunny cage with my garden hose with what pressure there was, just trying to dampen things. And it was coming in my face. And, you know, you see the results of wildfire all the time. Hundreds of them in Oklahoma, particularly last year, and quite a few in Arkansas, did so much destruction. And to do it to precious habitat when, I mean, there's a very small grant, basically. And the result that it's accomplishing is that this is being done without, you know, due consideration for the gentlest and best, as well as safest methods of so-called restoration. But I mean, you know, when we start hearing we've got to do this by February to get more grants, then the question is, well, wait a minute, does that mean we can burn bigger parcels next time? I mean, how does that help?
What? Yes.
Oh yeah, I could have got some marshmallows. I have some next door from the kids last year. But I do have coffee up there.
You bought him and then
Yeah, I took five. I just thought I'd cheat, man. Pull my finger discount.
no, yeah, no, that's fine. I got a few too.
Getting better.
Do not leave the package there.
Okay. Maple tree. Maple's crushed under there. It's pretty. It's not. Yeah. Is this, are the Razorbacks playing here today? Or?
Yeah.
There'll be a lot more airplanes over there before long.
Game day today.
Wish I could. Can you recognize a button bush when there are no buttons on it?
What?
Can
Am I recognized?
Can you recognize a button bush when the buttons aren't visible?
Button bush.
Button. B-U-T-T-O-N.
Uh-huh.
They're similar to some of these, and they have a little. Their seed thing is a little stem with a button, like a lot of other wild things. But I can't tell the ones that don't have the actual button showing at a given moment. I can't necessarily recognize them, and what I'm afraid of is a lot of them are going to get wiped out in this process, and that's one of the things that we want to encourage on the wetland part. So it's hard to pick them out except when they have the buttons. I can show you some over there, about just 100 feet, but I can only tell you for sure the ones that have the button showing. The ones that have been wrapped up by the honeysuckle, you can't see the buttons. They don't flower when they're that suppressed, and in fact they barely have leaves left on them by the end of this summer, Now the wind's picking up. Chuck, can you recognize a button bush when it doesn't have any buttons? Can you?
Can I recognize it, you say?
Yeah, if there are no buttons and almost no leaves.
I think so.
Well, see, the only ones I can identify for sure are ones over there, and I've taken the unwrap some of them, but I can only be sure if they've got the buttons showing. Which
Yeah.
there's 3 little stands over there that.
I haven't studied the twigs and all that. Just I
But-
recognize the leaves.
Yeah. That,
So where are you talking about?
well, let's walk over there. Stems, I don't know.
Notice they have the opposites. The stems come out in opposite, like this, in a sharp angle. This is a this is a small angle, a V. So this should be a good identifying feature. They have little kind of white spots on the lower stems here too. Yeah, there's a bunch back in there.
But that's.
Well, here's a big blue stem. Actually, it's a little blue stem.
Oh, yeah.